up guys, it's Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, we are literally big chilling. I'm on the floor in my living room, just chilling, hanging out, relaxing, maxing. What is it? Has to go chilling out, maxing, relaxing. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm low-key kind of delirious and I'm a little sleepy because I worked last night, didn't get enough sleep. Anyways, let's just jump straight into the video. As you guys can see, I'm gonna do a Q&A. I asked you guys, taking off my shoes, I asked you guys on Instagram and here on YouTube, don't shake camera, to ask me questions. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting to get that many or as many as I got. So I'm gonna try to hurry up and get through as many as I can. If I have to do a part 2, and then I will, but also too, some of these questions I actually already pre-planned to do them as videos. So if your question is not answered, please don't be upset or anything. Just know 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna make a video about it. Okay, so basically what I did is I kind of just took like, this is like pretty much all of y'all's questions, but, well, not all, but it's like a video where I like screen recorded or whatever. But, what I basically did is just took screenshots of all the questions, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and start with whatever the first one is that pops up. Okay, so someone asked, do you like living in Houston? It's a place I'm considering after nursing school. Absolutely. So as you guys may or may not know, I'm kind of relatively new to the Houston area as well. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty accustomed to it by now, but I had moved out here for nursing school, so that was back in 2017. So I've been here a little over 3 years now. I mean, before moving out here, I was pretty familiar with Houston. I used to come out here sometimes, but I'm from a small country town, so like moving out here was a big like opportunity for me because back home there wasn't many opportunities, and I know like career wise it was the best choice. So for now, I absolutely do love living in Houston. I know some people that have like grown up here and all they've known is Houston want to get out of Houston, but it's different for me because I basically grew up like in a country lifestyle, so it works for me. One of my friends, actually one of my coworkers, I think she's joking, but she asked, what you know about school nurse pay? So I don't know if you guys saw, but on my Instagram, it was like yesterday morning, so by the time you see this video, like a couple mornings ago, there's actually like a critical shortage of nurses nationwide, obviously because of school nurses, obviously because of everything that's going on with COVID and everything. And so I know there's like tons and tons of school districts across the nation. Oh my gosh, my pillow just fell. There are tons and tons of school districts across the nation that are like hiring nurses like crazy. But it is important to know if your finances are not like, if money is super important to you and you don't want to be like on a strict budget, I don't think school nursing pays that well. But to be honest, I don't know. It could be different now because they are in such high need, but I really don't know. If you guys, if any of y'all are familiar with that and you want to elaborate, feel free. Okay, somebody asked, is having the NRP a resume booster for future NICU nurses? Do you recommend getting it? To be honest, I'm kind of indifferent about it. I've honestly been thinking about this whole scenario within itself. So I do think it is a good resume booster because it kind of shows that you went outside of what is required to like get certified. But then at the same time, that's not something that you just like sign up for just for your resume. Like you need to sign up for that to actually know it because so NRP is like neonatal resuscitation. So think of like when you code an adult like CPR, it's like coding a baby. So that's something that you really need to be familiar with and not just have it for resume booster. So I mean, if you want to have it, if you want to get it for your resume prior to like even becoming a NICU nurse, cool. I mean, go for it. But also like when you actually start working, your job may even require you just to do it again, do it through them so they know that you actually know it, because it is something that is extremely important. It's literally like a life-saving measure. I do want to say real quick, I see a lot of questions asking like, how did I study for this class? How did I study for that class? Like one question in particular says, how did you study for med surg? You guys, I feel, oh my god, the camera. I feel like I have tons of videos on my channel about how I studied for X, Y, and Z class. So definitely I know I have tons of videos now, but like if you just kind of scroll through my feed or whatever, I guarantee 9 times out of 10, if there is a specific class you want to know how to study for, it's probably on there. If not, just shoot me a direct message because I really feel like I need to be detailed and I don't want to take up a whole video just for that. Okay, next question, and I think this is actually really good and I don't know if I have an answer for it. But due to Corona, do you think, do nursing students have hopes of getting in a job specialty? I would say, yeah. I mean, I know for a moment in time, there were like hiring freezes where it didn't matter if you wanted a specialty or not. Or if you were a nurse trying to go to another hospital, none of that mattered. Like, nobody was hiring anybody. Nobody wanted new people in their facility. So that was the issue. But now, I mean, I know a few people who have recently graduated, recently started, and have gotten jobs in nursing specialties. So I don't think it has that much of an impact. And I will say your start time may be a little delayed. I know some of the students like here in Houston who graduated back in May, some of them are not starting until like October. So that is a very long period of time of not working, which compared to me, y'all know I graduated in May, well, you know, last May, and immediately, well, not immediately, but like started working in July. So it's a very big difference in the timing. Next question, how to find, or basically like, how do you find the perfect therapist for you? So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, as you guys know, I'm super big on mental health. I started going to therapy and I advocate for all of that 100%. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of going through this whole situation within myself, like trying to think, did I pick the right therapist? Because let me tell you guys, so this is the first time I've ever did therapy. Anything like this is my first time. So this is all a new experience to me, and like I'm learning as I go. So I used to leave my sessions thinking like, I don't know if I necessarily got anything out of that. And then like the relationship that I felt like me and my therapist had, it kind of felt like too much of like, oh, I'm going in there to talk to my like really good friend. And I don't even know this lady. Like, I felt like I was going in there to talk to my really good friend, which I don't know, like I'm really indifferent about it. Like I really enjoyed that, but then at the same time I'm like, dang, was that beneficial? Did it help? It helped because a lot of things obviously that I share with her, I don't tell anyone. And so it's good to get that type of stuff off of your chest if it's like mentally affecting you. But it was just like, sometimes I felt like, I don't know if we're accomplishing anything. And I know nothing changes like over one session, two sessions. Like, I know that it takes time, but I just don't know. I just don't know. I think actually I haven't been in a while actually, but I'm thinking about maybe booking another session within the next couple weeks and seeing, and maybe kind of like expressing to her like, I don't know if this is okay, you know, and see what she says about it. But I will say, for me, how I found my therapist is I did blackgirlstherapy.com, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I wanted someone who was African American, and I wanted someone who was a female, and I wanted her to be a little bit on the younger side. Not that it makes a difference, but it just made me feel more comfortable. And maybe that's why I feel like I'm going in there talking to my friend. I don't know, but that's how I found her. You could literally like put your zip code in, and it pops up like a whole list, and you can literally read everything about them and just choose from there. This video is already almost 9 minutes long. We're probably gonna have to split this up. Okay, next question, are you dating at all, and how are you holding up in the pandemic? Yes, guys, I am dating. I'm actually in a relationship, but obviously I'm not as like, there are certain things, and I explained this on Instagram not that long ago. There are certain things that I prefer to keep private, and that is one of those things. So to answer that question, once again, yes, I am dating and I'm in a relationship. Second part, how are you holding up in the pandemic? I think pretty good, to be honest. I mean, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm not trying to be, of course, around 1,000,001 people, and if I am, I try to be as safe as possible. And then like the people that I hang around with, it's normally like the same people every weekend. So, and I don't know, I know kind of where they've been, and they know where I've been. I don't know how to explain it. Judge me if you will, but I mean, I'm doing fine. In the beginning, it was kind of like weird because I didn't like, I don't know, it was just weird for me, but I'm okay. I'm still going out. Like I said before, like Houston is pretty much dang near open. You have to be out, have to have a mask, but you are more than welcome to be out and about. So it's not as bad as it once was. So it's really not affecting me too much. I do get kind of paranoid sometimes, like, holy crap, I hope I don't get sick. I hope none of my family members get sick. And then that too, I don't try to be around like my family too much, especially like my little brother, which sucks. Because obviously like I'm around more people, not even just the friends that I'm hanging out with, but just like my job in general. And I obviously don't want to get anybody else sick. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I'm fine. I'm gonna ask, are you a nurse for babies? Yes, I am. Next question, how did you study in nursing school? Any tips? Again, I have videos on that for sure. Next question, and I actually got this question a lot. How do you deal with nurses being bullies? I really feel like I could probably make a whole video on this, so I won't go too far in depth. But I will say, don't stay silent about it. And if something is bothering you, like professionally confront this person and say, hey, you don't have to be my friend, but we need to keep this professional, because what you did, X, Y, and Z, is it made me feel uncomfortable, and you know, it's not okay. So just professionally try to confront this person. If you don't feel comfortable with this person and you're a newer nurse, let's go up the chain of command, like go to your manager, or like if it's something that is really happens in the moment and is really bothering you, you can go to your charge nurse, and then you can escalate it up to your manager. But just, I mean, don't allow it to continuously happen. You guys know I don't think I would call it bullying, but we've had this conversation. You already know where I'm at. But anything that's bothering you, especially as a newer nurse, you need to definitely let your manager know, so you're not like constantly having to go through it, because that's not okay. Someone asked, where do you get your decoration ideas from? Your place is gorgeous. Thank you. I don't know. So I'm gonna be honest, in my last apartment, like before I had moved in with my mom, the apartment I had in nursing school, I kind of just like, now that I look back on it, I feel like there I just threw stuff together, and I knew that that's just not what I wanted. So when I knew I was gonna move in here, while I was still staying at my mom's house, I was looking up ideas, like, okay, how do I want it to look? Like, what look am I going for? I'm all about like modern, minimalistic, simple stuff. So I knew that's what I wanted. I wanted the plants, I wanted the greenery, I wanted like simple colors, hence the gray, the white. So I don't know, I just thought about it before I impulsively purchased anything, because I feel like that's what I did in my last apartment, and I wasn't necessarily happy with the decorations. Okay, the next question, what does your dream home look like? So, you know, something very modern. If I could like try to insert a picture, I don't even know if I'll insert a picture, because watch, the house that I end up getting will be something totally opposite. But I really, as you guys know, like I like modern, I like minimalistic, I like just very clean cut, fine lines. I obviously, like, not obviously, but I want a bigger house because I want a big family, but just very like clean cut. Y'all know how some people say like, oh, all white kitchens look like sterile and cold and like remind me of hospitals. I absolutely love like all white kitchens, just like the idea of just everything being updated in your home, nice appliances, like a smart home. I can go on and on. This could be a whole other video within itself, but kind of something similar. I mean, you guys kind of see like how the vibe that I was going for in this apartment, I could have took it a step up, but we're being financially smart. But just along the lines of modern, minimalistic, just, you know, up to date pretty much. The next question is, will you ever move out of Houston or Texas in general? I'm not opposed to it. I don't have any plans to, but I mean, obviously if something came up, or I mean, if I wanted to move, like I said, I'm not opposed to it. But as of now, because I'm just still fresh in Houston, I really don't have any plans of leaving anytime soon. There's so many good opportunities out here too, so I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. All right, y'all, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had to do some technical difficulty adjusting because my camera died, and we need to get this video done, so I did some switch outs. But anyways, okay, let's continue on. So if I'm looking over here now, it's because I have my laptop. So do you enjoy living in Houston? I already answered that question. And does Houston hospitals hire ADN grads? So I believe they do. Actually, I know they do. More so probably not in the medical center, but if you're trying to work out in a community hospital, which is okay, they do 9 times out of 10 hire ADN grads, but they will leave it on the table that if they do hire you as an ADN grad, then they're going to give you X amount of time to get your bachelor's degree. Now, I will say they will pay for you to go back to get your bachelor's degree, but keep in mind, and I know from my hospital system, which is a pretty well-known big hospital system in Houston, they make you sign yet another contract to stay with them. So if you're coming as a new nurse, starting as, you know, like a new grad, you already are on a 2-year contract. And then if they start paying for your schooling, then you're on another 2-year contract. So let's just say, you know, your 2-year contract, let's use me for example. My 2-year contract ends in next July. So let's just say next February, I decided that I want to go back to school and to have my hospital pay for it. So then they start paying, let's say in February. So that would be, what's next year, 2021. So 2022, 2023, my contract, you know, well, not even that. It's 2 years from your last payment of schooling. So just know 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be signing another contract for them to pay for you to go back to school. Just keep that in mind. Winter or summer? I don't know. Honestly, I hate both. I like fall. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so happy it's September. Like, these are the best months of the year, September, October, December. We don't really get like snow too much out here in Houston. So, excuse me, I don't feel like we get a real winter. I mean, it gets cold and I don't really like the cold. My skin is sensitive, but then I also don't like the heat either because our heat is humidity heat, which is a different type of heat. So I really like the fall, if we're being honest. Favorite and least favorite foods. I'm open to trying anything, and I can't really think of anything that I don't like off the top of my head. And I'm really bad at favorites, so to not waste time, I really don't have an answer for this question, sorry. Advice I would give my younger self, just be more open and more confident within myself. Growing up, I actually really was very quiet, and I feel like I missed out on a lot of opportunities because I was so quiet and I was so scared to, not scared, but just like, just the community that I grew up in, it was not, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like you had to have a name to like be successful in that specific community, which sucks. And especially like in sports and stuff, I did sports growing up. I felt like you really had to have a name. So I feel like that really made me shy away from certain things. But if I could go back, I would tell myself just to be more confident and just go for it. Like, who cares what other people think? You make yourself happy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. How did you get into your residency program? So basically my last semester of nursing school, I started looking for residency programs. The one I found was a hospital that I really wanted to work for, and well, a hospital system that I wanted to work for. And yeah, I just applied and got an interview and got the job. But start looking in your last semester. Is applying to residency programs hard, or did you have help in the process? So it wasn't hard. It was really kind of like step-by-step type of thing. And then at the same time too, like everybody in my cohort was like going through the same thing. So like we were all applying, we were all trying to figure it out together. So everybody was pretty helpful. But to be honest, it wasn't even that hard. It was just really like, it was step-by-step. It wasn't too bad. You just apply and then they're gonna email you the next steps. The next question, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna do 3 more questions. And then I'm gonna just do a part 2 because this video is gonna be long, and we're not doing that because I still have YouTube questions I have to answer. So 3 more questions. Okay. I think a great question would be, what do you think of the school nurse shortage? I picked this one specifically because I already talked about it earlier in the video. I think, like, to be honest, I hate how people sometimes, and this is not everybody, it's like some people kind of shame people from like wanting to step away from the bedside, which, listen, bedside all the time ain't for everybody, and it ain't for me. I'm gonna just be straight up. So one, I don't think it's anybody's place to like shame anybody that wants to step away from the bedside, but then you have people who shame people who want to be school nurses. Like, I think that's not honestly a bad, like it's not bad. Of course, like it's totally different than being in the hospital. But like, think of the amount of time you get off. Like, if you have a family, like you're off and your kids are off. I think it's a great opportunity. Now, as far as the shortage, it's expected, like I said, because of COVID and because like a lot of things are happening across the nation. It is expected. And I really do think, and I really wish that school nurses were paid more. People who work in the education industry, period, I wish all of them were paid a lot more than what they are. I think they deserve it. But specifically speaking about school nurses, it kind of sucks. And that's probably why they have a shortage, is because they don't want to pay their people what they need to be paid. So it kind of sucks. But these kids like need nurses, especially with COVID going on right now. I think it's important that we fill those openings because we need our school nurses. Next question, any tips for feeling out of place through nursing school? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I kind of went through this phase. Okay, so like my first and second semester, I had friends that came from like the main campus with me. But what ended up happening after our second semester is one of them ended up staying back. So we were moving on into our, no, this was going into our second semester. We were going into our second semester. One of us, at the time, my friend, that's a whole different story. At the time, my friend, like she fast tracked into the next semester. So she like advanced. And then the other one stayed back in that semester. So then I kind of went through this period of like, holy crap, like these were my girls, they were my friends. And I was like, I'm in a class with a whole bunch of transfers. I don't know them. They kind of already clicked because they like met up, got together first semester, and I was still just like with the people I was comfortable with. So then when they left, or like when we weren't together anymore, it kind of sucked. And I went through the phase of like feeling out of place, and this sucks because I feel like I'm doing this by myself. But then honestly, I just became, what ended up happening and why I have the good friends that I have now, like Alex, Darius, Drew, all of them, like my whole people that you always see me with. What ended up happening is with my second semester, I had clinical with Alex, and I don't know, like our first clinical morning, we just like started talking on the way into the hospital, and then the rest was history. Like we became super close, and Alex was a transfer, which is, he didn't come from the school, the main campus like I did. But he was already friends with the other transfer students, which was like Darius and Drew, the other people that I hang out with, all of them, China, all of them were transfer students. So it just kind of like all kind of fell into place. So I would just say like, don't, y'all know me, like I'm super outgoing now, and like I'll talk to anybody. Well, not anybody, but y'all get what I'm saying. But just don't, try not to be shy and just try to be open, because all of you guys there are like, y'all are there for one end goal. Try not to look at it. I remember my first semester, I heard this advice. The people, like, I think they told us, look to the people to your right, look to the people to your left. Like, y'all are not in competition anymore. Y'all are in competition to get a nursing school together, or like to get a spot in this program. But all of you have your spot. So y'all need to work together and get through this. So they're not your competition anymore. I mean, become friends, because the people in the like friendships that you build in nursing school, those connections will literally last a lifetime, because y'all go through some serious stuff together. So just be open, and just try. I mean, y'all ain't gotta be friends. It's not, y'all not gonna be besties the first day, but just try to talk to as many people as you can, and just find your person or your clique or your study group that works for you. Okay, so this is actually a really good question. I'm gonna close it out with this one, and then part 2 will be coming soon. Have you ever considered mother, baby, or L&D? Yes and yes. So quick backstory. I mean, you guys know, because it's on my YouTube channel. I wanted to do L&D out of nursing school. That's what I wanted to do. When I had my L&D rotation, I knew like, this is for me. I mean, there's no denying it. Period. I mean, y'all knew it. Everybody knew. So yes, there was a point in time where I wanted to do L&D, but then when I got the NICU position that I got, I was actually like elated, because we were going to deliveries, we were catching the babies. I mean, we had absolutely nothing to do with the moms, but we still were there for every single delivery. So I got to see kind of both sides of the spectrum. Now, mother baby, I did think about that when I actually, y'all know I was going through a period in my orientation phase where I was just like, what's going on? I picked the wrong specialty. So at that point in time, I was kind of close. Like, I actually did a few shadow shifts in mother baby, like shortly after my orientation for NICU was over, because I wanted to see what it was like in mother baby. So I mean, I thought about it, but then after like, progressing and becoming more comfortable in the NICU, that thought kind of went away. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, like going to do mother baby or L&D, but there are thoughts that I've had like in the past, but obviously I didn't end up going into L&D, and I didn't end up doing mother baby, but never know what's in the future, so we shall see. So guys, that is it for this Q&A. We're definitely gonna do a part 2, because I have like a few more questions from Instagram from y'all, and then I didn't answer any of the questions from the ones on the YouTube community page where I asked y'all. So we will definitely get those questions done. I will record them and I will get them up for you guys. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully I answered your question. If not, like I said, don't be upset. Either it's going to be in a video or it's going to be in part 2, or somebody else already asked it and I just worded it a little bit differently. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.